Hi guys, my name is Bola Obileye and I'm your skinny cook. Today I'm excited to introduce you to our new range of spices. They're natural and they're good for you. So for a long time I've been telling you to get rid of those cubes because they're packed full of carbs and full of MSG and full of all sorts of chemicals you don't want in your body. So I've gone ahead and we've put together our spices, all natural. Absolutely no nasties and no additives, and they taste delicious as well. So I'm going to show you today how to use each and every one of them with the different meals that you can have with chicken, with prawns, with fish, with suya, even with skinny jollof rice. So I'm going to start with the Piri natural spice. This is totally amazing. And we've added a little bit of African kick to this Portuguese spice. So with this, as usual, you can have it on your chicken, on your meats, and on your prawns. I will show you in a minute. Next is the natural jerk seasoning. This is as authentic as they come. How do I know? Well, my sister-in-law is Jamaican. So I've got the real deal there. The real sauce is in the sauce. Well, in the seasoning this time. And I'll show you once again. So with this, we'd have it on our chicken, on our drumsticks, on the thighs. We can even mess with it with fish as well. Yes, jerk fish. We're going to try that as well. The one shot is our all-purpose spice. You can use this for anything really. What I like to use it for is to make a quick sauce. So when I've been out and I'm rushing and the kids need to eat, I just throw a bit of it in a pan, add a bit of oil and add a bit of plum tomatoes and I've got a meal there, literally. So, one shot. Our suya spice is legendary. This is the real deal, made in Nigeria. So the flavors are in there. The smell of a Balende suya. In fact, I made some recently and someone said it tasted like Ikoyi Club suya. Well, whatever suya it is, all I can tell you is that it is the real deal. And I'm going to show you how to use some of these spices today. And last but not the least is our super duper Jollof. Trying to get away. Our super duper jollof rice seasoning. And this is so easy. You can use it as a spice to give that, natural jollof rice cooked outside. You know that the kind of jollof rice we eat back at home where the mama puts come and they cook it out on, an open flame. This will give you that flavor. So I'll show you by just adding it a bit into your jollof rice, you get that. And another thing you can do with this is that you can actually spice your chicken and your meats, whatever you're going to have with your jollof rice, you can use the jollof seasoning for. You can even use it as a base sauce to make like a stew for your jollof rice or to serve it with any other meal. So we'll show you quickly how you can do that. I'm going to start off today with showing you how I use my suya seasoning. How to use your suya spice. Your suya spice is like an African gem, the real deal. Obalende Ikoyi to your door, wherever you are in the world. So when it comes to you, you need to do it justice. Cook it right. And how do you do that? First, get your spices. Depending on how big a spread you want to make with your suya, get your spices out, pour it into a container. Taste it. I like that. But if you're one of those people that likes a little bit of a salty fist, I think you shouldn't. This is so good. You don't need to add anything. But if you do, just add a little bit of salt to it if you want. Taste it. And once you're happy with that, the only other thing you need to do is add a bit of oil. You don't have to use avocado oil. You can use any oil you like. I just like avocado oil because it's healthier. I think about what is good for my body before it goes into my body. And I think you should do the same too. So add a bit of oil. Again, the oil is really just to keep your meats moist. We want it to taste succulent. We don't want it to taste fried or dry in our mouth. We want it to have just that right juiciness. And to get that, we add the oil and we mix it in. Oh my God, the suya spice is just having a ball in my mouth. Oh God, it's so good. It's so, so good. You mix it up. I think I need more oil in there. And you mix it up. You can put your spice directly on your meat as well. The meat has fats as well that will come out. But I like to do it this way because I think I get a better result this way. Mix it up. Once you've got that kind of consistency, you're ready to go. So my meats have already been sliced. They've been beaten. And I always like to have this papers flat on my worktop. So I'm going to take the tray off because I always like to work on a flat work surface. So we've got the meats there, and I'm just going to literally just spread my suya seasoning with the oil over the meats. The minute your spoon touches the meat, remember that if it goes back in there, you've put raw food in there. So don't go licking on it after you've put it, after you took the raw meat. All right? Health and safety, okay? So I'm going to try to avoid that. Because if I don't end up finishing it, I can always cover it up and use it tomorrow or put it over my chicken or something else. So try as much as possible to avoid contaminating your spice jar, except you're going to use it all up. So use the back of your spoon to spread it over your meat. Here I've got beef, and my butchers have been kind enough, my butchers, Kikis or Cockfosters, have been kind enough to beat it for me. They always slice it so flat. And it's ready to cook. Shall I show you how? Give me a minute. Be right back. So some of you might have seen my video, how to make suya in a pot. If you haven't, I'll just give you a quick overview of what that is all about. The idea is that it makes it easy for you to have suya anytime, anywhere. Doesn't matter the weather, summer, winter, whenever. Make suya at home like that and make it healthier. And how do I do that? By cooking in a pot. And to do that, we cook in baking paper. So you more or less just pull it out, cut your baking paper to twice the size of your pot without your baking paper running away. So you double the size of your pot and you cut the baking paper. I always prefer the white baking paper, so try to get the white ones. The brown ones tend to burn really quickly, so go for the white ones. I don't know why, there's some kind of science to it, I guess. But yes, go for the white ones. Place your baking paper into your pot. I've got a pot over here, which I will show you in a minute. Place it into your pot like so, and then you place your suya strips in the pot. Nice and clean hands still. Don't worry, I know we only covered one side. That's all you really need because the seasoning is going to flow when the juices start flowing. And you place it in the pot like so, flat. I'm just going to cover that bit that didn't get covered when we spread it. I'm going to move my pot here so you can see better. And I'm going to place the rest in here. So I'm going to put the back of this over the top of the seasoned one so that the back gets covered. I'm going to season the bits that didn't get covered. And I'm going to place this. Whoopsie daisy. Stuck to my paper. There you go. Also into the pot. And once I've got it in there, you cover it up. So you're kind of like cooking it all sealed up. And this is what it would look like once you've got that done. Nicely sealed in. Yeah. And I'm going to put that on the fire and I'll show you later what it looks like. Okay, so these sheets that I had the suya on are Skinny Cook prep sheets. I like to use these prep sheets because it helps me to keep my work area tidy. And it also helps me make sure that I have every bit of whatever I'm cooking covered and right there in front of me. So if you want some of our prep sheets, we're happy to send them to you free with your orders. Just tick in there that you'd love some prep sheets and I will send them to you, as many as you like. And obviously as well, when your suya is ready, it's the perfect suya paper because it's grease proof as well. So it's the perfect, you know, instead of using newspaper, you move up with the times and use proper Skinny Cook paper. All right. So, but obviously once you use it to prep your raw foods, you bin that. That is no longer healthy for you to use for anything else. So I've put some new prep sheets out here. Remember, it's free for you. I'm going to give my hands a quick wash and show you how to season my salmon. Okay? So to use your jollof rice seasoning, while you're cooking your jollof rice, before the water in your rice starts to dry up, just add a bit of jollof rice seasoning. One thing I need to mention is that the seasoning already has salt in it. So we use sea salt from Israel in all our spices. So you know you're getting the finest of salt. So you need to be careful and taste as you go along so that you don't overdo it. Another thing that I do sometimes is that I stir in the spice, the seasoning into my sauce, my stew. You know, sometimes when you cook jollof rice, you make the stew separate. Well, I always tend to do that because I like it properly fried. So you can use your jollof rice seasoning in the stew, get the taste you want, and then when you put it into your rice, you can add a bit more, obviously, just to compensate for the rice that you've added. But again, taste as you go along, just to make sure that you don't overdo it. So I'm going to taste that now. Awesome. I think that's perfect. So it's as simple as ABC, and you just simmer and let it cook. So that's your jollof rice seasoning there, easy peasy. I'm going to show you how to season your chicken with it. But again, it's exactly the same way as you would season your chicken with piri piri or with jerk. So let's probably hop over to jerk seasoning, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. Right, so with your piri piri, you're probably used to having it on your chips, on your wedges, on chicken. But today, let's just throw in a bit of a change and have it on our prawns because it is that good. It is that amazing. So yes, piri piri right there. So we'll just grab some of it there. You have your nicely cleaned king prawns in there. Spray in a bit of oil, not too much. And then simply sprinkle your piri piri seasoning over it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you taste it and you think that you want a little bit of salt in it, I wouldn't advise it because it's already salty. You can add a bit of salt if you like, but I would have it this way because the punch of the spices comes through, the different flavors of the spices come through, and you don't really want to knock it out with too much salt. You can add more as you go along. Making sure it doesn't get burnt. I always remind you that when food gets burnt, it's toxic. It's not fun to eat the bottom of the pot, like we've been told, like is the best bit. It's the worst bit for your body. So never ever let your food burn. You've burnt out the nutrients and your body hates it. So you can let it cook a little bit more, you know, as brown as you want it or as pink as you want it, so to speak. And you've got it there, your piri king prawns. So next, let me show you how to use jerk. Let's hop over to jerk. So with the jerk chicken, I'm going to throw a little bit of a change to it. Sometimes I just put the jerk spice on the chicken like raw, like just throw it on it. That works. But sometimes I like to use a little bit of oil as a base. Today I'm using pure avocado oil. And the only reason why I want to use oil is so that the oil locks in the juices in the chicken. So I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to throw the jerk seasoning into there. And then we're going to go right in, hands nicely washed, and just dip the chicken in there. Cover it all up nicely. Dip it in there, cover it all up nicely. And for the real jerk chicken makers, you will recognize the look. This is how dark jerk chicken looks just before it goes in the on the grill, on your barbecue, whatever you use. Because we've used all the perfect spices, you get all that natural look. Everything in there, just dehydrated. Just look at that. Starting to look proper, authentic already. And then how I would cook this would be to place them in a bit of foil paper. Some people don't like foil paper. So if you're one of those people, feel free not to use it. Just cook it in a tray or baking paper. But sometimes I use foil paper. I just try not to overdo it. And then I seal in the chicken like a little parcel, and that goes in my oven. Preferably this way up so you don't get the juices out. The idea is really to lock in the juices so that everything, the full flavor comes out when you go and grab that first bite. So that's how to use your jerk chicken seasoning. Awesome. So next is the salmon. I prefer to season that bit of the fish, the top, because I just love the taste of that top bit when it's dry and crispy. So we're going to start off with that side. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What do? Let's try the one shot. That would be interesting actually, because the one shot has got like a very hot, stewy flavor to it. So let's see how that comes out. I think you should be very, very adventurous when it comes to your food. Try it. You never know what might happen. So let's go for the one shot. So you literally just take that and you sprinkle it over your salmon. If you feel like your one shot isn't salty enough, always feel free to add a little bit of salt, but be careful not to overdo it. Like I said, our salts are amazing. The sea salt, healthy, good for you. So try not to go with the conventional salts that's full of additives. You want to keep your food as natural as possible. And that's it, people. It's ready to go in a pan. We can fry that, we can bake that, we can do whatever we like with that. We can even steam it. It's amazing what you can do with food. The idea is really just to enjoy yourself with your meals, try different things. You could even eat the same thing like 5 times in a week, but guess what? Every single time you have it, it could taste different because you could try different spices, try it with different, things and accompaniments, and just enjoy yourself. Give yourself room to explore. Salmon. So while the conventional suya, as we know it, is cooking, and since we've got a little bit of suya spice left, these things are like gold. Never let it go to waste. So I thought, why not? Let's season our meatballs with suya seasoning. We're just going to throw it in there. Scrape it all down. This is gold dust, people. Gold dust from Africa. Nigeria, to be precise. And we give you a nice swirl. Nice swirl. This is just gorgeous. Again, you can put this in the oven. You can put it in your frying pan. Oh, look at that. This is soya seasoning right there. And you know it's going to taste good, right? The same way we cooked with suya in a pot, we could do the same with the meatball. So I'm just going to cut a bit of baking paper, if I find the scissors. If not, we just rip it. So I'm just going to throw my meatballs in here. And I'm going to throw it in the pan as well. So we're going to try to cover that up so it cooks in its own juices. It's interesting, isn't it? Soya meatballs. And it's going to go in the cooker. So you got to try out all our spices. You got to try the one shot, the jollof seasoning. Don't forget you can, use this on your chicken as well, and as a seasoning for your stews. You can use this as a base for your stews as well. We tried the piri, we tried the jerk, and we tried the legendary suya seasoning. So, what did the foods all look like? Wait a minute and see the magic. So these are the amazing dishes you can make with our natural spices. Here we've got our salmon seasoned with our one shot. Totally amazing, tastes delicious, a little bit hot but not too hot, just perfect. Our jollof rice seasoning there with our natural jollof rice spice, and our piri given a prawn twist. African gold dust, suya. Suya right here tastes absolutely delicious, authentic, just like the streets of Lagos. Here we've got our jerk, looks authentic, tastes authentic. In fact, it's completely Jamaican, man. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked this video. Please share and subscribe. We'll be bringing you more videos showing lots more intricate details to cooking the dishes from scratch. And if you like this, tell me what you like about it and what you would love me to share. Thanks again for watching. See you soon. I've got some eating to do. So see you later. Bye-bye. Whoops, I forgot to show you the meatballs. They taste absolutely delightful. Really, really good. See you later.